you.
All right. All right, thank you guys. And I want to introduce to you John Williams and Janet. And you know John because he was, you probably know both. You guys have both been to our club. Yeah. Steve, I'm sorry. Thank you.
John's his other name.
I think I even wrote it down. But so Steve was our district governor back when?
22, 23.
Okay.
2 years ago.
So not too long ago.
No.
All right. So, and we recently were at a gathering together in Hermiston, and Janet shared about the Hermiston Satellite Club. And I remember, Jason, when you came back from Pets a couple of different years ago, that was one of the things that you were vibing about. And I just felt like Janet had a really good, I thought like it would be a good opportunity for us to understand the nuts and bolts of how their satellite club works and so on and so forth, and give us a real live Eastern Oregon example. And so I've asked Janet to come and share. So thank you so much thanks for making the drive over, you guys.
Well, thank you for having us here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Rotary Satellite, primarily how we work our satellite club in Hermiston. So I hope that once I'm finished visiting, sharing with you, you guys will have a little better understanding of what you can do with a satellite club, how a satellite club can enhance your club and your community, and maybe it'll be an option that you're interested in. I'm a charter member of the Hermiston Satellite Club. We started in April of 2020, which that means it was right before COVID hit. And so we were just getting our group together and had to switch to Zoom meetings. It was pretty rough for the first few months until we were actually able to start meeting together again. And like a lot of clubs, we lost a few, but we were able to maintain as what we needed to and keep the interest going. And we now have 12 active members, and just got one new member last month, and then we've got another new member, prospective member coming in hopefully in the next month or two. A satellite club member is a member of the host club. So Hermiston Noon Club is our host club. So we are all members of the Hermiston Noon Club. We just choose to meet at a different time, a different place, and for fewer meetings. So we meet the first and third Tuesday of every month. We meet at the local Echo Ridge Winery. One of our members is one of the owners of Echo Ridge, and so they're closed on Tuesday, so we have the whole place to ourselves. If we want to buy a bottle of wine, we do. If we don't, that's fine too, but that's where we get together for our meetings. The first meeting, we usually try to make it our business meeting. That's the meeting that we get together and we plan out what we're doing. We talk about upcoming projects, what projects we want to do, how we could have done a project we just finished better, but that's our business meeting. The third Tuesday of the month is a meeting that we try to get out and do some community service. So one of our projects that we do in Hermiston, as long as the weather is good, is there's a Rotary Park right along 395 in Hermiston, and we have taken that on as our project to keep it weeded, barked. We plant some rose bushes this year. We work with the city Parks and Rec Department to take care of that. So a lot of times on that third Tuesday, we'll go down to the park as a group and we'll weed or do whatever needs to be done down there, pick up garbage, that sort of thing. Right now, we're kind of at the tail end of that, so we're using our second meeting of the month, the third Tuesday, to plan ahead for some additional projects. We're right in the middle of a senior portrait project right now, which is We are providing senior photos for seniors who can't afford to go have a senior portrait taken, so they don't have a snapshot in the yearbook with where everybody else has a nice photo. With that, we also give them, provide them with a copy of their yearbook. We've got 19 kids this year that have signed up for have photos taken, which is a jump from 3 last year. So we're busy right now. We just finished Saturday. We had a diaper dash, and the diaper dash is a fun run walk that we do. The registration is a box of diapers or a package of wipes, and then we donate those to the local Umatilla Morrow County Head Start. And there's a Sweet Potatoes Closet, which is a nonprofit that provides needs, food, formula, diapers, clothing, that sort of thing to foster kids as well as other kids in need. So that's just finished up, and I don't have all the numbers, but I think it was close to 5,000 diapers we collected this year, and I think we have about $1,000 that we can go out and buy some more diapers with. So Satellite Club members are always welcome at the Noon Club. I go to the Noon Club probably every month or 6 weeks. I've got several other of our satellite members that join in and go in just so they kind of know what's going on, maybe share what we're doing, especially with some of our projects when we need help. And we strongly encourage the Noon Club members to come to our satellite meetings, because it's just a good way for the two groups to meld together, to get to know each other, to know what each other's doing, and get that camaraderie going. It's also a great way for a makeup. If you need a makeup meeting, you can come to a Satellite Club meeting and get that. So Satellite Clubs, we're considered a committee of the Noon Club. So we have our own bylaws, which is required by international, and we have 2 officers, a chairman, of which I'm serving this year, and a secretary that works with the Noon Club secretary for reports and reporting and that sort of thing. Financially, the Noon Club is the financing the Satellite Club. However, the Satellite Club members work on fundraising projects and right alongside the Noon Club members, as well as other projects that they do, and they help us with our projects. The Satellite Club has utilized 3 district grants in the last 3 years for our senior photo project to help us pay for those yearbooks, and this year we're going to provide a couple of haircuts for kids who need haircuts, and a couple of them needed a nice shirt to wear for their pictures, so we'll provide that. Let's see. So we have full support from the Noon Club. They are 100% behind us in anything we want to do. We really try to include them and ask them to help us with our projects, as I said, and we do the same. We participate in the 5th Thursday socials that they have, and it's just a good time for both groups to kind of get together on a more social basis and get to know each other. So why a satellite club? Why would a club even look at having a satellite club? Well, like all service organizations, Rotary has a hard time keeping and growing membership. It's just the way it is right now. So thinking outside the box for membership especially is critical to the survival of Rotary. So satellite clubs provide an alternative meeting experience. Our meetings, again, are twice a month as opposed to once a week. We meet in the evening instead of at noon, and we don't have a meal. So it just opens it up for more people. How many teachers are in your club? None, because they can't come to a noon meeting. It was the same with the Hermiston Club. Now we have a couple of teachers that are members because they are very interested in being a part of something as far as community service, but they just can't get to those meetings to be able to be included in that. Some of you remember our son Sean, who was president here a few years back. He's in the satellite club as well because he works for the school district and he can't go to the noon meeting. So this was an opportunity for him to get back into Rotary as well. Our meetings are much more relaxed. We sit around a table with a glass of wine and we talk about what we need to do and how we're going to get those things done, and looking for new ideas all the time. So that is attractive to some people. Some people like, you know, a more structured meeting, but other people like just a more laid back, you know, visit, get your work meeting stuff done, and then have a glass of wine and enjoy each other's company. Satellite Club is more affordable, especially for some of we want to get some more younger age group people in. So we pay club dues, and we pay district dues, and we pay international dues. But we don't have any meal fees. So my quarterly dues for Satellite Club are $50 a quarter. So it makes it very affordable for someone, you know, a young business person or a family to be able to afford Satellite Club. A Satellite Club can attract members that have maybe a vocation or service interest. So a Satellite Club could be cause-based, it could be for the environment, it could be for women and children. There could be a Satellite Club for the students at Eastern Oregon University. They would be members of your club, but they would run their own meetings, they'd meet at their own times, and it would be a good way to introduce those students to Rotary. The other thing a Satellite Club can do is it could bring Rotary to a community that could not support a club on its own. Think of Elgin, think of Cove, think of Imbler. Any of those towns probably has people who would be very interested in community service in a Rotary group, but they couldn't have enough support to start a club on their own. A regular Rotary club requires 20 members to charter. Satellite club, you need 8. So it makes it a lot more doable for these smaller communities. Some clubs will have a Satellite Club that they use as a transitionary club. In other words, they start the Satellite Club with their 8 members with the idea that when they grow to 20 members, they would branch off into their own club. Hermiston we aren't planning on that. We want to remain one club, and if we get more members than the new club gets, good for us. You know, it doesn't matter. It's not a competition. I keep telling them, it's not a competition. We're all in it together. It also is a good way if you have members who are not really engaged, they're not coming to your noon meetings, they're not involved. Maybe it's because noon on Tuesday doesn't work for them anymore, or maybe an evening meeting would be better, or whenever the Satellite Club would decide to meet. We recently have a member that has been a longtime member of the Hermiston Noon Club, but he just took a job in Pasco, I think, Tri-Cities, Washington. He can't come back for a noon club meeting, so he's transitioned into the Satellite Club so he could remain involved in Rotary. And we've also been reaching out to some of the members of the noon club who haven't been engaged, who haven't been participating, and saying, hey, maybe the Satellite Club is a better fit for you if you want to come visit, check it out, and make that decision on what you want to do. And it just is a way to keep members in that are just not feeling the noontime thing. Satellite Club gives us more members in the Hermiston Club. It gives us more manpower for our projects, and it gives us new, fresh ideas because we're getting new people involved, and with those new people, they always bring in some new ideas. Together with the Noon Club, we just want to make a difference in our community, and that's the bottom line. And so we're just keep looking for ways to engage more people, and we found that Satellite Club was a really, really good way to do that. So now I'm open to any questions you may have. Okay?
So what, you might have said this before and I just probably missed it. Do you have a separate name for the Satellite Club? Because Satellite Club sounds, just saying those words together kind of makes it, doesn't sound as unified, you know, with it.
Our official name is Hermiston Rotary Satellite Sunset.
Oh.
Because in the beginning, that's how international, we had to have
Yeah,
that
there.
sequence.
Okay,
Right now, we just call ourselves the Hermiston Satellite Club.
okay. But sunset fits with the morning, noon, and
Right.
the solar alignment.
Right,
You know,
right.
that makes sense. So, yeah.
Yes,
So you're saying the Satellite Club has its own bylaws and chairperson, treasurer. Do you also operate under a different tax ID number? Do you have separate tax returns?
no,
Okay.
no, we are part of, the new club. Our bylaws, we wrote up basically just kinda, are for our club, but the Noon Club, or the board of the Noon Club approved those, before we submitted them. And, we actually don't have a treasurer, we have a secretary.
Oh, okay.
So secretary and chairman, and, all of our funds run through, any funds like from the diaper dash that we collected will run through the, treasurer at the Noon Club.
Okay.
So again, the treasurer of the Noon Club sends out the bill to the satellite?
Yes, yes, just like he does for the Noon Club. And he's sitting right there, so I know he does it. Yes?
What's the age group in your club?
Well, our club, the youngest one is probably in her mid-20s. Our oldest one is 86. And I'm next oldest. And then we've got quite a few in their, everybody else is in their 30s or early 40s, early to mid 40s. So, yes.
I've got a facetious question. We may have a winery in the ground, but do you need to have a winery?
Doesn't have to be a winery meeting. We just, like I said, one of our charter members is one of the owners of Echo Ridge, and they're closed on Tuesdays. And so we have the tasting room, or the patio. If it's the nice weather, we sit out on the patio, but we have the tasting room to ourselves. And we usually take turns buying a bottle of wine and sharing it for those who want it. Right now, they are in the middle of harvest, so the last 2 months, the meetings have been at our house because it's just too busy out there at the winery to try to bring us in for one more thing. So we're flexible that way. We just let people know. I have a secretary that's really good at sending out messages and emails. Okay, this is where we're meeting. Don't forget you need to do this and bring that, and it keeps us all organized. Yes?
You talked about, for instance, having a satellite club that might be affiliated with Eastern Oregon University. Rotary has programs, or is there still a program intended for collegiate age students?
Rotaract.
Rotaract.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is another option. And I don't know, Steve and I were talking about that on the way over here. He was thinking that Rotaract Club requires the 20 members as well. So again, this could be a satellite club up there, could be a way to get something like that started. If you started out as a satellite club, I don't think there would be any reason why they couldn't move to a Rotaract Club if that's the direction they wanted to go.
So what does the satellite club do with the main club? Do you do projects together? I mean, talk about that a little bit.
Yes, so one of the projects that the Noon Club does is they sell rodeo tickets at Farm City Pro Rodeo during the Umatilla County Fair. And we're on that schedule just like the Noon Club is. Of course, you gotta remember there's 12 of us, and I don't know how many are in the Noon Club, 75 in the Noon Club. So we're not in as full,
Right.
but we're all trying to do that. The diaper dash, we had, several Noon Club members down there helping us with directions of telling the walkers and runners where to go and helping us with that sort of thing. When we have a work party down at Rotary Park, we always let the Noon Club know, hey, this is what we're doing. And more often than not, we have a handful of Noon Club members down there helping us spread bark or rock or whatever we're doing down there. And then the fifth Thursday is our social, and we get together, everybody gets together for that. We've talked, we haven't done anything yet, but we've been talking about doing kind of a membership function, and that would be something that we would both work together. We'd both present, this is what the satellite club looks like, this is what the new club looks like. Visit both of them and see which one you feel like you fit better with.
Now, you said you have a social, and when is
The
that again?
fifth Thursday, so every month that has a fifth Thursday in it, because Thursday's when the new club meets. So every month that has a fifth Thursday, they try to do a social of some kind.
And do they do a lunch still on that day?
Not usually. They usually skip the lunch meeting, and then that day, that evening, we have, we've gone out to the Sage Center in Boardman and had one there, had pizza, we've had the Christmas, Hermiston does a Christmas tree lighting. That one is actually fifth Thursday, but it's gonna be the next Thursday, the
Yeah.
first Thursday actually, just because that's when they're scheduling the downtown tree lighting. And we have found the new OMG hamburger place is right on the corner, and they have an upstairs room that looks right over where they light the Christmas tree. It's warm, it's dry, and we have food and drink. So this will be the second year that we will be there, and both clubs are there. We did our, when they installed the new president for the new club, Satellite Club was there and involved in that as well, so.
Okay.
Yes.
What was your first meeting like? I mean, obviously there would have been somebody from the noon meeting that established it or whatever, started it, so I assume, how did that look, the first meeting?
Unorganized and, a little bit, but Steve was actually instrumental in helping us get that going. And so, yes, the first few meetings were at our house, actually. We had a barbecue, I believe, out in our backyard, and just invited people that said they were interested and
Was it officially in essence, an itinerary, not an itinerary,
Agenda?
Basically, one agenda, I'm totally losing my words here, but there was basically one member of that club to start? Or how many
Well,
did you have? That's
no,
kinda
we
what I
had
was
to have
asking.
8 for it to be an official.
Had to have 8.
We have to have 8 to be an official satellite club, and we had to send in paperwork to the international and get all of that taken care of. And I don't even remember how all of that went down. Do
Did you start meeting before you accumulated the 8, or did you have that already?
We did start meeting kind of unofficially to kind of get the ball rolling.
So I was kind of wondering
Most-
because that seems like it'd be a hard ball to get.
Mostly they're informational meetings here. Come learn about what the satellite club, come learn about Rotary, and then what the satellite club offers.
Right.
So that's
Similar to when you'd invite a guest, or if you're starting a new club or the host club. We just invited people and said, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, are you interested? And then we had a couple of informational type meetings, and then started getting applications in. And once we got to the 8, and I think we actually had 10 to start with, we sent all of that into international and got it all official.
So once that's kind of what I was thinking, is how did this start? So in essence, you had your minimum of 8 people ready to go. You'd kind of already done
Yes.
the beating of the bushes in essence to find the people.
Yes.
To get it
Yes.
going. So.
And the nice part about being the charter part of that is we get to decide how we want it to look. We get to decide that yes, we're still going to follow what we need to for Rotary International and the Hermiston Club, but we got to pick what days we wanted to meet, and we went back and forth on that. We went back from Tuesday to Wednesday and came down to the people that said, well, Wednesday's the only day that works for me, weren't coming. So it's like, well, which day works better for everybody else? Well, that's Tuesday, so that's when we set our date as Tuesday. And it can be what you want it to be. Like I said, this is how we have structured ours, and we really you need the meeting time to get organized and to keep things moving, but we really like having that day or that evening to go out and do community service, because that's what our club wants to do. We don't want to sit in a meeting. We want to be out there boots on the ground doing what we can do to make the community better. Yes?
What are the training requirements for the chair? Do you go to pets? Do you do all that? good stuff?
Nope, I don't get to go to pets. Basically, you learn as you go, at least at this point. There are no requirements for the committee chair. The treasurer, the secretary needs a little bit of training just because they need to know how to do, we use Dactiv. I don't know if that's what you guys use here. We use Dactiv, and so our secretary had to sit with the Noon Club secretary to learn how to enter attendance and how to, add new members and that sort of thing. So there's a little bit of training there, but it was all just done locally with Hermiston.
So now, were you a part of the noon meeting and you said, okay, I'll go start this, or this was your opportunity to be involved in
Yes.
Rotary?
That.
Yeah.
We, I always say, people will ask when when Steve was district governor, especially, and people would say, well, how long have you been in Rotary? And I said, well, I have officially been in Rotary since 2020, but I have been involved in Rotary as long as he has.
Right, yeah.
So I just didn't attend the noon meetings, but if there was a fundraiser, I went. If there was a service project, I went. And so, but I was one of those that didn't want to go every Thursday and sit listen to a speaker at a meeting. I've always had good speakers, but it's just not something I wanted to do every week.
Yeah.
And so, when this idea came about, and I knew Sean was interested, and I knew we had several teachers that were interested, and it's like, well, this is the opportunity to be involved and get something going so that we can get some of those people who are interested but can't do the regular meeting.
Cool. Well, before we quit, I'd like either one of you to talk about your corporate membership.
That would be him.
Yeah, so come Steve for just a second, and I'm recording this so that our other members can see this later. Yeah. Talk about what you do, because that's kind of creative.
Okay, both the satellite club concept and the corporate membership concept are all designed for ways that Hermiston Club could look at expanding our membership, because we were really struggling with our membership. Our numbers were going down, and so we decided that the satellite was one option. The second is what we call a corporate membership. We have several companies, the hospital for one, the prison for another, the school district. They have some key leaders that want to be involved in Rotary, but they can't commit to being there every week. And so we developed this concept, and it's not just our club. Rotary International has a corporate membership, but you can set your own guidelines in terms of how you want this to structure. But what we say is, okay, so the Hearst School District, for example, we don't expect the high school principal to be at every weekly meeting because we know what happens at the school campus. It's hard for them to get away. But if you had one person from the school district office and one person from the high school and one person maybe from an elementary school, maybe they could tag team. And so one of them would be there each week and be involved and understand what's going on in Rotary. We have actually 5 now for the school district. We have 3 from the Two Rivers Correctional Facility. We have 3 from Good Shepherd Hospital. So each of them are members individually. The company pays for their dues, for international, for district, for club. And then they have a different meal plan. So for example, what we've done in our club, we always pre-bill a quarter meals for all members. That's 12 meals a quarter, because the 13th meal is that 5th Thursday. For the corporate membership, we said, okay, if you got 3 members, that would normally be 36 meals, right? Well, we don't expect you to be there for 36 meals, but how about if we bill you for 18? And so that was saving them some money, but also providing them the opportunity to be involved and engaged, again, hopefully more members available to help with different projects, and they pay their dues, and honestly in our club, our club dues are $5 a quarter. It doesn't go very far. But our dues are when people pay their quarterly meals in advance and only make it to 6 of the 12 meals, all of a sudden that's $70 is going towards our club treasury, so. But it's worked well. We again, we have 3 corporate memberships currently.
And all of the corporate members right now go to the Noon Club, but if there was somebody that said, hey.
Actually, that's not true. Sean is part of the
Oh,
corporate.
that's true.
Sean is part of the corporate
That's right.
membership from the
That's-
school,
that
but he goes to
changed.
satellite.
Right, so he comes to satellite, so it's, you know, you don't have to all be in one or the other, we can use them both.
But we found, again, looking for ways to, how do we attract and engage and involve more people? Because the more people involved, the more ideas you have, and when it's time for events and projects, it's kind of share the load.
Awesome.
Jeff?
So you talked about dwindling numbers and you only have 75 now. What were you like
Well,
before?
we were down in our mid-50s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were higher,
Yeah.
lost
We-
some and then came back.
Right,
Okay.
because of the corporate and because of satellite, we've grown our membership back up into the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we thought we were doing good with 50 members here in the day.
Yeah. And you know, honestly, of the, I think we had 84 members total between satellite and, so my numbers were, math was off. But I'm just the treasurer, so that doesn't matter. But what I found, now I lost my train of thought, and this is on camera too. But our membership went up and down, and we were down in the low 50s, and we really focused on what can we do. But of our membership, we probably have 35 to 40 that are actively engaged. Come to the weekly meetings, come to Satellite Club and stuff. So the rest of us are just funding the club activities. But we still would rather have the MAC.
All right. Hey, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
What's the demographic of your Noon Club?
Demographics as far as
Age.
age. We have a couple members in their late 20s. Most of us are over 60. Men, we have probably 60 to 65 men and 8 to 10 women.
Except for the Satellite Club.
Satellite Club's
is
mostly all women, except for Sean.
Sean and Rick.
Rick, yeah.
Cool. Thanks for your work on this
Yeah.
and sharing it.
Yeah.
We've sat around trying to figure out a lot of things, but haven't really been able to see around the corner what it would look like. And you've done it.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
that's really great.
You know, I was telling Janet earlier this week, I said, you know, when I was president up at Pets and they're talking about, well, there's satellite club, so that's just what I need as club president. I have to go to another meeting during the week. Yeah, I get my noon meeting, I have to go back to the Tuesday night meeting too. Well, that's not the requirement at all. It's a different model that we've designed, so it's not the club president that has to do that. It's important. Of course, I've got a relationship with the chairman, which is really helpful. But it's important that somebody from the club take this on as their interest and make sure that they're there answering questions and helping the people understand, well, what's the Rotary Foundation? What's that have to do with anything? And how do you get a district grant and things like that? Because if you know, Janet has learned because she's been on my side for a long, long time. But those are the type of questions that needs to have that person from the Noon Club involved to help them as they gain their knowledge. And district training assembly events are helpful to them, as well as the Vibrant Club training that we had last month. Any type of training and exposure is very helpful to Satellite Club members as well as any membership.
And I do attend the board meetings as a chair, committee chair, and that way we know, both know what each other's doing, and I think that's really helpful.
Just honestly, she's usually there just to ask for money. That's
I'm
No
glad you
different
guys.
than home, right?
I'm glad you guys get along so well.
Yeah, we do.
Hey, thank you guys.
Hey, before you leave, Jan and I also are kind of taking on a role at a district level. We're coordinating a caravan of RVs heading up to Calgary next June. The International Convention is in Calgary the last week of June. Probably the closest opportunity you'll have to visit international conventions. So if you're interested in that, that's a good one to look at. Again, if we're taking a caravan, it should be a lot of fun.
And some people are just driving the caravan and actually getting hotel rooms where we stop with our RVs, so that's an option too, if you just wanna drive up there.
There's gonna be a convoy.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, not everybody gets that.
Can't you finish that up with a breaker one?